Back here at Canale Arena, where tonight the Bucs victorious, knocking off Lane College 78-70, and the victorious head coach Mike Nienaber joins me. And boy, Coach, you came out just everybody knocking down threes from everywhere. You take a 17-point lead, but well, you give Lane credit. They came back. They really battled back, take a 6-point lead, and then you guys got to come back. And really that response there, I thought, showed a lot for your team. They kept their composure. Things kind of got a little chippy, kept their composure, and guys just kept making big shots.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the one I mentioned in the locker room during that stretch, because Adam getting his 4th foul just added to the problem.
Yeah.
And the frustration of the situation. And I'm sitting there like, hey, man, how long are you going to leave him out? But I really felt like Jake Lyons, the 3 he hit,
yes,
I thought was really big. And he's struggling a little bit like a freshman inside. The biggest thing with Jake, I think, is he tries to play too fast right now. Stuff that he could do in high school that he was really good at doing, attacking the basket and stuff. It's hard to do that against, and part of it too is, you're talking about a 18, 19-year-old kid a lot of times going against 22, 23-year-old men, and against people that he's not going to out quick very often. But he does have a good quick first step. He's just got to slow down and let the game come to him a little bit. But boy, he stepped up. He hit a 3 in the first half, and then hit the one in the second half was really big because.
And the one in the second half too was right after Rudy hit 2. So you had 3 straight threes by your 2 freshmen.
2 true freshmen, yeah. And Luke is playing just unbelievable. I mean, he came up just with a lot of big shots down. And a couple of them. I mean, he's got such a quick release. I mean, sometimes he'll take it, and my first instinct, because I've got so many players that don't have that, my first instinct is, that was, you're not open.
Yeah.
But he gets it off, and I mean, he hit that one in front of the bench, and when he shot it at first, I thought the guy was really closing on him fast, but he nailed it, and obviously, what can you say about Joe tonight? I mean, he was just, the thing that's amazing, and I told the guys, I said about Joe's game, how much he was having to handle the ball, and I think one of the things that hurt us in the first half was Brad getting those 2 fouls, and I think that hurt us a little bit just with our chemistry as far as what we were doing early. But for Joe to have to deal with pressure and as physical as they were playing, to be able to step up and make that 4-point play. And honestly, he had another 4-point play that they didn't call over on the left wing. That the one he hit before that, the guy knocked into him. And again, like you said, you got to give them a lot of credit because God, they competed. They fought to get back, and they made it tough. And we know why they're picked to win their side of the league. I mean, they're going to win a lot of games.
We talk about this all the time, but obviously it's a lot easier when you're making shots, and you're now on the year just a touch below 50% from 3-point range through 3 games. Right. Joe Larrabee now, with his performance tonight, is 16 out of 25 for the season from 3-point range.
It's amazing. I mean, it's all in a way. It's almost scary though, because you're not going to be able to maintain that kind of. If he does, he's going to set some records for sure. But we've got to shore up some other things. I mean, I just felt like we got that 15, 17-point lead, and I thought we played too quick. Several of those possessions. It's almost like we got it in our head, okay, we're on our way, and we let them right back in by, I think, a couple of quick shots. Adam falls into that sometimes, and I tell Adam all the time. I mean, not just Adam, I tell them all. Be patient, run the offense. You can get that shot late in the shot clock, make them play defense for 30 seconds, and it's amazing how many of those shots go in, like the one he hit, the one Adam hit, big one that with 2 seconds on the shot clock. It's amazing how many of those shots go in and how many of those 5 seconds into offense shots don't go in. And I think some of it's probably me, because they know that that's something that I'm not real comfortable, that I'm not real happy with when they pull fast and we haven't even made an attempt, because I want to try. We need to get the ball into Adam more. And we got in that stretch, and again, that stretch in the first half, and we just fall in love with the 3. And I mean, again, you're shooting like we're shooting it. You can understand a little bit, but we want them to go inside out. We don't want want to be coming down 2 passes and launching. And then the other thing is, I always tell them, I said, to me, it's like the thing I compared when I got out of college playing and started playing like intramurals and church league and stuff. As a guy that played in college, there's just no pressure. You don't feel so you shoot so much better. I shot so much better when I was 25 than when I was 22 playing in college games because of the difference in pressure. And I said, guys, when you shoot that shot with 2 seconds on the shot clock, it's like church league. You got to take it.
Yeah, there's
nobody anywhere in the world is going to question you taking that shot. So you're comfortable taking it, and it's like the one they made to start the game.
Yeah.
We did a great job, and they get out there and we contest them, and those shots have a way of going in. But again, it was a good, hard-fought win, and boy, it looked there for a while like we weren't going to get it.
So now you've survived the 3 games without Jeff Larkin at 3-0, and I mean and now you add him into this mix. I know you got some decisions to make how you're going to work this all out, as we've talked about, but it's certainly a good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean it is, and I tell people, I was talking to a friend of mine that is struggling a little bit just getting started. Actually, I was talking to Wade, our assistant coach from last year, as a shorter, and he, the cupboard was pretty bare when he got there. He's only got 7 or 8 players, and we're talking, and I'm trying to kind of cheer him up because it's, he knew it was going to be a tough road to try to build it from the ground up, and I kind of midstream we're talking, and then I start complaining about, how many players we had. I'm like, I know you just want to shoot me because, you wish you had 2 or 3 like we have 8 or 9 of, but the thing I always say, it's a good problem, but it's still a problem.
Yeah.
And trying to get the chemistry, keep people focused on what they're doing. And again, you look at it. I mean, Jeff's not the only one that hasn't played yet. Mitch is sitting. Mitch was our 7th, 8th man much of last year, and you look at these guys and you think, how am I going to get him in? I mean, it's just, and again, the way guys are playing, and then you throw on top of it the way Luke Rudy's playing. I mean, how many minutes can you have him sitting on the bench?
Exactly.
And the thing is, he is in there, it's not like he's just out there making shots. He is out there scrapping. He dug out one of those. He got
5 steals.
He got hit up. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the other. But he got hit upside the head on that one. I thought, I was wanting to call timeout because I thought he might be bleeding. And, but he got in there. He gets in there and battles. And, I think he's got a lot of the Cody-like characteristics. I mean, he really does get in there and scrap and read and, does a lot of things that Cody does defensively, and and obviously he's not. It's not fair for Cody to compare him because nobody shoots. Now now nobody shoots it better than Joe Larrabee for sure. But I'm gonna tell you, Luke Rudy can.
Right now, I think I'd pay for a game of horse between Rudy and Larrabee and see what happens.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't. I mean, I would have told you 2 weeks ago I'd put my money on Luke just because I'm watching practice, but not taking anything away from Joe because Joe. The thing about Joe, too, is he is money. I mean, he makes some of the biggest pressure, and he did that last year. I mean, watching in the summer, watching some of the games down the home stretch, there was so many times when we needed
he does.
basket.
He likes the big moment.
And he was out there last year as a friggin' freshman. I mean, he was a true freshman out there just like Rudy is now. I mean, that's the thing that is crazy when you think about how still, we've been talking about how young we've been for the last 2 years, and it's accurate.
We're still talking about freshmen and sophomores.
We're still. I mean, I felt like Luke, could have very easily been freshman of the week last week, and our guys were all upset. They go, they came in. I didn't even know it. They go, and I'm like, I didn't know the numbers and comparative. And I said, I tell you what, I think part of it, they're probably just tired of giving our players freshman of the week after last year between Joe getting it every other week and Brad getting it, and Mitch got it one time. I mean, I think they think, hey, if somebody else is even close, don't give it to CBU. They'll get it enough times anyway. But
now you go on the road Saturday to Trevecca. What do you expect there?
Well, I haven't. Again, I mean, the coaches say this all the time, and literally, I have not looked at 1 second. We were trying to piece together a scouting report from this game somehow out of what they did last year, and there was a lot of players that we didn't know going into this game tonight. But at least it'll be the first time, other than Sunday, which we had our game against them, but it'll be the first time that we'll actually be able to do a true scouting report because they have played 3 or 4 games, so we'll be able to watch some stuff and figure out a little more of a game plan. The thing that Lane did a great job tonight too, everything we had about them, and again we did a really good job on Ash.
Yeah, really. Yeah, he only what, 4 points?
Now God bless him, 13 rebounds. So he's a warrior. He's in there battling, but we did a great job containing him. But they had a lot of guys. And the word I got talking to what couple I could is that they weren't. The 3-point shot was not a big factor. I talked to Martin, and that we told before the game they beat UT Martin. Those guys said, there wasn't anybody that really jumped off the page. Well, I'm watching them warming up and stuff, and I'm thinking number 4's got a pretty good looking shot. And he goes 2 for 6, and 22 stepped up 3 for 7. I mean, 9 for 23 from 3 is a really good night of shooting.
Yeah, if you're shooting 39%,
I'll take that. Almost every night. Now, you'd knock it next to 17 for 32, and it pales a little bit. But they really did. I mean, that wasn't. They knew us going in, and everybody knows we got guys that can shoot it. But that wasn't the book on them, and they really did. They stepped up and made a lot of big shots.
No doubt about it. It's just amazing to see the way your team, with the way it shoots. It seems like the best place for you to shoot is from beyond the arc. It's better than 2-point shots, and it's better than free throws.
Well, so we know it's better than free throws. I mean, I'm going to tell you, it drives me nuts. I mean, and I don't, it's one of those things you feel like if you talk about it, you just make it worse. But how can guys shoot threes like we shoot them and then go up there to the foul line and just, it's
clearly mental.
It's like if we make 2 in a row, man, I feel like I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, to me it is. It's like I said, to me it's the one thing in basketball that is separate from everything. I mean, it is shooting, but it's like putting.
Yep.
It's like putting in golf, and it's just a different type skill, and it's the mental part of it.
No question.
So big a part of it.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Good luck Saturday. Try and go to 4-0.
We're going to try. Like I said, I haven't looked at them for a second yet, but we'll go to work on that tomorrow, get ready for practice. And, I did notice they did lose a couple games in St. Louis in one of these crossover tournaments over the weekend. I think they might be a little younger. It'll be a different kind of team. I mean, and again, it'd be nice to finally go into a game where you don't feel like the other team is pressing you nonstop because Jeff's not out there.
Exactly.
And take that pressure off of Joe and Brad a little bit. But it's been good for them to handle it like they've had to, because there's nights when Jeff gets in foul trouble, or heaven hope that he doesn't tweak an ankle or something like that. And but having those guys play those games and get those minutes, I think it was really helpful for our growth.
No doubt about it, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.